where Sellafield releases this stuff into the Irish Sea, and it will affect people in the Baltic Sea too. From studies
Dr. Busby, is there a handheld radiation detection device that a consumer could use to determine whether such particles are airborne near them?
No. Not really, no.
Not sensitive enough?
No, because it's for the same reason that I said that what the handheld radiation detector does, no matter how sensitive it is it measures dose. So it can only average over the size of the machine that's being used.
Right.
See? And so these little particles wouldn't have any effect on that. I mean, there are ways in which you can deal with it, but they're a bit complicated. You have to get sticky filters. So you put up some sellotape on a piece of paper, and then it sticks to the sellotape, and then you can put a plastic on there called CR39, and then you can see the tracks or you can put photographic film as well. And in fact, a colleague of mine in America, in the United States, looked at some of the dust from Fukushima and was able to image these particles quite easily.
Well, it seems critical, really, for especially people living near these areas that you identify as possibly having high levels of latent radioactive particles, to be able to have some kind of a device or something they can purchase to determine whether they're safe.
I agree with you. But basically there isn't anything. I mean, all you can do is you can bulk this stuff. So what you can do is you can look at vehicle air filters, for example, which is what I did in Fukushima. I got a lot of Japanese people to send me the filters from their motor cars, and then what we did is we measured in bulk. We measured the concentrations of material in those filters. And one filter I got sent by a lady in central Tokyo. So she was living in an apartment which was 300 meters from the Tokyo Tower, and she sent me her air conditioning filter, which was inside the room that she lived in. So it was inside. It just circulated air inside the room, and there was about 120,000 becquerels per kilogram of cesium in that filter. There was a lot of uranium-235, uranium-238. There was lead-210, which nobody had detected. Obviously, a lot of lead-210 was coming out of Fukushima. So that was quite, and I put up a video on YouTube about that. It's quite a scary business, because this is Tokyo, population 36 million.
Yeah, and the really scary thing is that your lungs are the filter. I mean, if you're walking around breathing in that area, you are accumulating all that in your lungs. That's your whole point.
That's my point. I mean, we can't take somebody's lung out and measure it, but we can certainly take a filter out of a car and measure it. And so if the filter intercepts material as it gets sucked into the engine, we can have a fairly good idea of how fast the engine is turning and how much air goes through it, and the efficiency of the filter and all that sort of stuff.
So how effective would an N95 mask be, you know, the kind of mask that people use for flu pandemics and things? Would those block?
What you mean? Just those little monkey masks, those little white things? No, they're useless.
Yeah,
they're
that's
useless.
what I think too.
You have to have one. You have to have a proper aerosol mask, like the sort of thing that you would buy for working with dangerous aerosols. You know,
like something that seals around your face.
Yeah, that's right. You'd have to use that, and even that won't intercept some of these very small uranium particles that they use that are created in weaponization. Those things are down in the 50 nanometer to 150 nanometer range, and they go straight through any of those things. So in fact, they go straight through the skin.
What? They go straight through the skin?
Yeah. There's the nanoparticles, which is like a big deal now. Everybody's researching nanoparticles. I mean, nanoparticles go straight through the skin. That's how all these these things make women look younger, you know. They just put the paste on, it goes through the skin, it plumps the skin out and makes them look younger.
But are you saying that they're radioactive uranium particles that are nano-sized that can...
Yes, absolutely. The Americans, when they were first developing this stuff, they did measurements at the... where's this somewhere in... They have a base in America. I can't remember the name offhand. Anyway, so they did impact collections using various systems that measured the diameter of the particles.
But basically, what you're saying is we're all screwed. Is what you're saying? We're all screwed unless we can stop this pollution.
Unless we can stop these people using them. This is why I say, well, somebody, I mean, I was asked by Russia Today to contribute to some program, and they said, what, and they said, what's the most serious radiation or nuclear hazard in existence at the moment? And they were talking about the strategic arms limitation talks, you know, and whether Iran is going to drop a bomb on Iraq or on Israel. But actually, this has been going on for a very long time. It already exists. The most serious item in this whole area is the refusal of the international committees that legislate about exposures to concede that there is a huge problem in there.
Denial.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, Dr. Busby, we're out of time, but I want to thank you for joining me today. It's been a fascinating discussion.
Okay. Thank you.
We got to go to break here, but folks, Dr. Busby's website is nuclearjustice.org, and thank you once again, Dr. Busby, for joining us.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.